Hello, hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and welcome everybody to day 43 of the Crypto Challenge. It's going to be very interesting because I know a lot of people are like, I can't even hear the word crypto, man. That shit crazy. Um, we're gonna talk about crypto today, guys. It's the Crypto Challenge. Obviously, you know. What else are we gonna talk about? So. Just before I came live, I realized the account here is not logged in. That means then that I need to type in the password. But then again, I am absolutely lazy and I am also a tech guy. And so I'm just going to be copying and pasting the password from my password manager. Because techie, too many copy and paste in the past, you know, passwords, everything. So just give me a second. And then I can do that, and then I can come here and I can just put in the password. I can log in. We need to slide this across, pretend that we're actually human and we can't get it. And then the system should accept us. Wow, monster eats image. Even after that, zoop.
What?
Zoop. There we go. Monster eats image. Oh, hello. Who was that said what?
Me. Again, monster eats your image?
I don't know. It thinks I'm a monster. Which is
Wow.
very interesting. And then, of course, we need to do our 2FA. And if you guys don't have 2FA, I don't know what you're doing following the challenge. All right, so we're at 993.59. Yay! 993.59. We're tethered. I mean, what do we expect? You know, it's not like... Oh, hilarious. Okay, we got that shit done and out of the way. Moving on. Bitcoin. Let's see. Kefir saying key pass. Is it key pass? I can't remember. No, it's last pass. I use last pass. I don't use key pass. So, Bitcoin. What has it been doing? What has it been up to since we finished the stream yesterday? Let's come and insert our vertical line at the stream time. Here. This is where we cut the stream yesterday. And essentially, Bitcoin's almost at exactly the same price. Sorry, I'm going to get a little bit closer to the microphone. I feel like I'm sitting very far away. And because I'm very far away, you guys probably can't hear me that well. So 1 second, let me adjust.
You are alright.
With a squeaky chair. My chair squeaks. So whenever I stream, guys, I sit... Seriously, if we go for a 2-hour stream, I'm sat here like without moving a single muscle, just so that you guys don't hear the squeaks. But, right, so, Bitcoin. This is where it ended, right over here, you can see. Alright, and after the stream, and then it had a little bit of a retracement, and then it went across and it dipped back down again, and it finally reached 7668, I believe, is the point that it reached. We'll say 7670, just for the sake of variation between various exchanges. I was asleep. I think I fell asleep at around this time here. I fell asleep. So it went down and then it had its bounce. Sorry about that. And then it had its bounce. And what was very interesting was that after its bounce, it had this massive green candle. Okay, this is on the 15-minute chart. Let's zoom in to the 5-minute chart. And you guys can see that this green candle happened in a very short space, very short amount of time. I'll go back to the 15. All right, so they had this giant green candle. And to me, if I was watching this and I saw this bounce, followed by this giant green candle, I would have thought, did we just bounce? And I think a lot of people did. A lot of people did think, did we just bounce? Like, is that seriously the bounce? Like that's the bounce? I wouldn't have bought in though. It's too suspicious for me. That much growth in a short amount of time, nah, I don't deal with that shit. What happened after that? What happened after that was that essentially we started to form a channel to a degree. But what's interesting is that what happened afterwards was we had the corrective candle. And if you guys remember a few days ago, a few nights ago, a few evenings ago, I did mention about the corrective, how I believe that a lot of these pumps are just, a lot of the dumps are just correcting some previous pumps. And I did write this out on the server. I was also on voice earlier on today, guys. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm simply just going to go up like this. I'm not doing Elliott wave. I am just using the pattern here. Okay. It's going to come up, and then yeah, there's 1 point missing. It's a very, very good question, Mr. Techie. Which one will you do? Okay, let me just move these points around. So imagine point. Oops. Come on, Trading View. Imagine all the people living for today. Yeah, welcome to Techie does his insane crazy TA that doesn't make sense to anyone else. But yeah, this is essentially what I'm doing now. Is I'm just setting this up as a framework for the top of the candle here, the top of the candle here, these peaks here, as well as this bottom dip. And then when I drag this one here down, so it's got the same shape as the candle up there, and when we drag this one here down, we can actually see that it fits within this channel. I first looked at this pattern and said, okay, that is potentially the correction of this pump, and if we disregard the dump and the pump, then we should still end up with what we could consider to be a kind of pattern that forms. And in actual fact, yes, it does. I formed this as soon as this candle here it kind of started to go down, and that's why there's this purple line, which is what I believe to be the correct channel, the correct trend line for this whole section here. I don't believe that this section here should be counted in anything. If you are doing Elliott waves or something like that, I would say you could even completely disregard this and just consider that it came down and up like this. Somebody did say, yeah, this should be moved up a little bit further, or perhaps even a little bit further down. It's okay, we're just using it just as a general indication. But this here is called Techie TA. Kefra saying, I gave you a cookie emoticon for that TA on the Until 1 Mil Discord. I notice patterns like this. Okay, I don't know whether it is actually a concept within technical analysis, but however, I believe this may be unique to crypto because of how these giant candles can be formed. These giant candles generally don't get formed like this in other markets. And because of the volatility of crypto, we can see these massive pumps and these massive dumps. And as a result, if they are just simply manipulation, as a lot of people like to call it, or they are simply somebody playing with the market, whatever it may be, then we can actually go back and we can correct the effect of that. Because, I mean, we showed this a while back. We showed this, I can't remember when we showed it. I think we showed it here. I think this here was another one. Again, we can come in and we can start from this point here. We take literally not quite the wick, but we take just below the wick. We'll go up, down, across. I think I might run out of points here. I did run out of points. Thank you very much, Techie. Let me just adjust this then. I'm going to get rid of point number 2. Okay. So if you do that, and then you drag this guy down to effectively correct where it started pumping, you can kind of see that we actually had a much smaller trend going on over here. You know, and what you could have done was you could have then drawn in a new trend line. Instead of going upwards from here, you could have then come from here, and you could have come straight across to there. Or you could have based it off of one of these points. And then essentially it kind of allows you to have a better idea. Because when you base it from here, as you can see, as we did, we thought we had a false break. Whereas if we come through now and we drag this across, we can actually see that no, we didn't have a false break. We didn't have a break at all. We just simply didn't break through the wedge. And the only one true break was when we came down like that. So this is Techie TA, guys. This is not actually anything. I'm still studying it. I'm still kind of practicing. I'm still going through and estimating, and I think I would like to discuss with some property A guys and see whether we can actually formulate something for this. I mean, over here I see another one. Immediately I see another one. You've got, let me come through and get the shapes. Where are the shapes for Turkey? Yeah, okay, not rotated. I just want a normal rectangle. So to me, this one here would match up with something on this side here. Okay, that there, the size of that candle versus the size of these candles, I think they could be corrected. And then you have, yet again, you have this section here, okay, along with this section here. These two can be corrected, and then effectively what you'll have is that you will have a wave or a line that goes across from here to here and clearly shows that the trend line was actually in fact continuing. Again, this is just some crazy theory based on some crazy pattern, based on some crazy observation that I made once upon a time when I was looking at a chart. It is not actually TA, okay? And I'm still kind of looking into it and wondering if it could potentially be used as a tool within technical analysis. Because once you can actually correct these major movements within the market, you may actually be able to see clearer trend lines, and therefore, as we showed here, have better buying slash selling decisions, because you can clearly see when something breaks versus when something's just being manipulated. So anyway, getting back to the point, that is what I saw down here, is that if we hadn't had this giant thing, we would have continued in this channel, and I drew this channel at this candle here, and I think the screenshots that I initially posted do all show it at that level. I'm just going to confirm TA questions. Yeah, definitely. So you guys can see here that I drew it literally as soon as it came down, and it was this candle here. I was like, okay, I see this potential pattern. Obviously, I didn't draw this as sharp or whatever it was. And yeah, and so far it has worked out perfectly. So why am I mentioning all this? This is from 2 Coins 1 Cup. Woo woo! 2 Coins 1 Cup has also been pattern hunting. It's been really interesting actually to see the patterns of how things have been moving. If you are interested in what this chart is and what it means, I hope he doesn't mind that it accidentally came up. You know, then I do apologize, sir. But if anyone's interested in what this is, perhaps 2 Coins 1 Cup maybe wants to share his findings, and people can chat. Someone's saying hi, Wes. Wes? Where's Wes? I don't see Wes. 2 Coins 1 Cup says I don't mind. Great. So yeah, I love finding patterns like this, and this one here I think is something that I really do want to start to discuss with some people and see if we can work out you know, whether this here is actually something that we can utilize within TA in the future to ascertain or to determine the actual correct trend line, and then we use that bit for our decisions. Because if it's always the case of, if the market is manipulated or the market is pushed beyond what would be considered its normal path, then there's a lot of confusion. Then there's a lot of different possibilities in technical analysis. You know, people will then be like, well, perhaps maybe we have a trend line coming down like that. You know, and you'll be like, well, I don't know, you know, it's a little bit, we haven't come up here again. We've only come down once. We haven't touched this line up here. Therefore, it's not technically an ascending triangle, but it fits, it works. So if we can accurately then go back and predict this, then that would be great. Joe saying, I saw the same thing today. That's really weird how we all thought about the same thing. Yeah, I've mentioned it on stream, I think, a couple of times before, or at least once before. I'm pretty sure we've touched on it. But I'm glad that you've seen it. I'm glad that you've seen it as well, Joe. So yeah, this is really interesting. So what is actually happening with Bitcoin? It's a very good question. I think it's the best kind of question. Let me just quickly check for messages. Missed the start. Hello guys, I'm really sorry for everyone that you missed the start. No, you didn't. I'm pretty sure you didn't miss the start. You don't use LastPass autofill feature, just copy and paste. This here is a different Chrome browser. It does not have my LastPass. This has got none of my stuff in it. This is dedicated just for the crypto challenge. And as a result, yeah, I don't have any of my plugins or anything installed in there. So yeah, I don't, nothing. Quick question. To convert Ethereum to Bitcoin, what's the best option? Sell Ethereum to Bitcoin or go to USDT, then buy Bitcoin? Crypto music, you got to understand, if you go to USDT and then into Ethereum, you're going to be paying double fees. So you'll be paying twice the fees because you're doing two separate transactions. But you can always monitor. You can just quickly get out a calculator. As a wasa wasa. Not that one. Okay, what you can do is you can come here to Bitcoin, and then you can put in Ethereum, and you got to be kind of quick with this. And then you come here, and if you click here, it tells you it's 611.58. Come over to USDT, and here it says 612.76. You can do a quick calculation, see how much double fees would cost, and then you can decide which way you want to go. Interesting theory. You can see where you're going. Yeah, I'm gonna try and see how it can go. Yeah, I don't know. Well, we'll have to see, and see where things are going. Oh, okay. Oh god, it seems like the trolls up. Welcome back, trolls. Are you feeling bored? Are you feeling butthurt? Do you want me to come and rub your heads? Yeah?
They have no normal life, you know.
Yeah, I know. Welcome, guys. Well, you guys can watch and just listen along. But yeah, you mess around and and Jeff will be let loose on you. You don't want to mess with Jeff. So let's see. Let's actually see then. I might just go. You know what? I'm just gonna do this. I'm just gonna put this here. Crypto Wolf and Peter. Guys, I'm sorry. You're distracting me. You're not welcome. Thank you very much. Right. Moving on. Guys, if you have a question in the Discord server, please be sure to put a capital letter Q. And if you're on the tube, then please be sure to put if you're on the YouTube, put a capital letter Q. If you're on the Discord server, tag me using the @ symbol, and then you guys know. Yeah, and then you guys I'm gonna be able to see your messages. So essentially, right now we got to talk about what is Bitcoin's next move. I did a bit of research earlier. Not as much as the previous days, I will admit, because generally the general consensus is still the same. And since I have begun looking into the Elliott Wave theory, for those of you who subscribe to Elliott Wave monthly, if we consider this here to be a corrected path, i.e. we're just using the purple channel as our upper trend line, then utilizing Sir Elliott or Madam Elliott, I don't know whether it's a Sir or an Elliott, we could actually see this one here being one whole wave depending on where we're going. So let me just make this a little bit thicker. I don't think it shows up too nicely. Zoop. Zoop. There we go. Okay. And I'm not an Elliott Wave guy. I'm still training. Don't worry, guys. But just using the ideology of Elliott Wave, then we could potentially clearly see that we have from up here, which is where a lot of people are counting their point from up here, we could have 1, and this here could be 2. If that's 2, then we could expect 3 to come down to, I believe it will be around, I don't know, there. And then 4 could be about here, and then 5 could be about, oops, didn't mean to move that line. That was my line at 7.5. And then number 5 could obviously be, I think it would come like down to there somewhere. 1,254. What's this line here? Oh, okay. I'm not saying this is Elliott waves. I'm not saying this is how it is. But I do see that there as an almost perfect. Not the almost perfect. I do see it as an almost perfect wave channel. Let me just come here again. Let's bring that down like that. And right click and lock. And then now we can move in and out a lot easier. So if this is a corrected, a candle corrective theory, and we have this perfectly thin, it's quite thin, considerably thin, channel, upward channel, and already it's coming to here, and the indicators are starting to show, okay, we might start to go down soon. Okay, MACD came up. Remember yesterday, guys, we were talking about how MACD was here. Okay, and we didn't have a bounce. And then it's been coming up today. And then it leveled off. So it's actually been leveling off as this whole thing here has been going up. And you guys can see here how much of an angle this here is going up. And if we, it's a little bit difficult, but if we ignore these big peaks, because they would also be corrected down to here potentially, and we just kind of take a line from here to here, there is divergence, okay, but it is not to an opposing level. It is not to an opposing degree. However, if you come and you check, we want to check from this one here. See, here is going to be a lot more difficult because we can't just chop the MACD halfway through. So I do believe, using some other indicators from other places, I do believe that we are, I'm going to switch on my, there we go. Okay. And we can come back here. So what I've done is I've just switched on the Bollinger Bands. Again, guys, I'm just going to prepare a lesson for you guys for the Bollinger Bands. Looking back historically and how it behaves with the Bollinger Bands, generally if we are above the center band, we are considered quite bullish to a degree. If we are below, then as you guys can see, we are really bearish. And if you're kind of hovering on the band, then it is kind of, it can flip, it can alternate, it can move. Not only that, we are also looking at this yellow line here, which is the 55 EMA, the 55 exponential moving average. And for the first time in quite a few days, we've actually kind of peaked above it, come back down, and peaked a little bit above it again. We have closed above it. However, it doesn't look like we've broken away from it. And as a result, we could just have a repeat of what happened here, whereby we go over and then come back under again. We can even move up in the time frames because oh, that was the 30-minute. We can even move up, move down in the time frames here. As you can see on the 15, we spent quite a bit of time above the EMA, bouncing off of it multiple times. I can actually switch off the Bollinger Bands just to show it a little bit clearer. And perhaps we can, drawing tools, hide all, there we go. Nice and clear for you guys, okay? So we came down, bounced above on top of it, came up here, we saw it as a layer of resistance, came above, saw it as support, broke underneath, and now currently again we're seeing it as support. So what am I actually expecting? But judging by the amount of times we've come and tried to break back down underneath it, I do estimate and guesstimate that we shall see that we shall come down to meet it once again, meet your maker, and then we should break through. Going up to something like this, the 1 hour, we can see oh, I've got the wrong one selected. No wonder why. We can see similar kind of patterns on the 1 hour. Okay, the MACD doesn't have as much divergence as it was on the 15, but sorry, just having a bit of a stretch. But overall, we are still looking like we are headed in a general downward trajectory. And if you actually analyze how we have come down so far, this doesn't really seem to be the bounce we have been waiting for. It is still considerably weak. Even as I speak right now, I can see it on my other screen. I have some other charts open with insane level of indicators and notes and kind of more squiggly lines than you can shake a stick at. And it does look fairly weak. And the general consensus amongst a lot of people is that right now it is quite weak. It is quite weak. So just to give you guys a kind of a better idea, let's come here. Let's go to the 3 minute. Ooh, 3 minute, not 30 minute. And then we're going to want to unlock, lock, zoom in like that. There we go. Ooh, that's beautiful, isn't it? So we can clearly see here, there's our upper trend line. Here's the lower trend line. We did have an attempted break, or potentially is just out of line. I think it's just out of line. Yep, it's just out of line. As you guys can see, each time we come up, this has been interesting because each time we've come up, there's been varying degrees of momentum. However, the same pattern generally applies. For example, this one here looks like this guy here. Apart from here, that's his taller brother. This guy's also got big wicks. This guy's got a big wick, and this guy's the taller brother. There's always one and the other in the family, isn't it? This one here had a giant peak here. This one had a peak of kind of similar magnitude. Apart from it was already pumped a little bit before by the two surrounding peaks either side of it. So we have here and we have here. We've got this random guy in the middle who just kind of got squashed halfway on his way home. So you can see that there's a general repeating pattern. Even if you come down to the smaller level here, you can kind of see the same general repeating pattern. However, here, as this pattern started to develop, the last half of it is really kind of like, ugh. So they've kind of died off. That again supports the ideology or the idea that we are looking at crossing below the 55 EMA, which on the 3 minutes is there. On the 15 minutes, we are a little bit further away, but we should start to go down. On the 30 minutes, we are up here. So we're not too far away from it. You know, when we should potentially come back, we're going to test this trend line here at least once more. That's generally where we are heading right now. And then we could either see up or down. That's the famous thing with Bitcoin. It's either up or down, man. It's going to move. We just don't know which way. I believe we're going to go down. Okay, because we have been going for several hours in this channel, and over those several hours, it's been getting weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker. And as you guys know, it's easier for a coin to fall than it is to climb. So, I don't believe we're going to 3K, guys. Just when I was putting in those numbers, I was just, you know, yeah, I was just, yeah, I got to make a point, you know, but it's not about the 3K. I don't believe it's going down there. Kefra saying, honestly, the lack of things to do with regards to the challenge has made this a TA stream, and a techie TA stream at that. Yeah, I do apologize, guys. I do feel quite bad that I haven't been preparing the lessons and stuff. I do have a whole list of them with notes for each lesson, but it's kind of, you know, been during the day. I've kind of been, yeah, I don't know. Just the way that the market is going, I don't have this massive push to like spend multiple hours researching for a lesson and getting the correct links and making sure that I'm not giving you guys false information, etc. I can talk about a lot of stuff off the top of my head, but I actually want to give you guys factual stuff and explain things in a detail that maybe you can't just find from reading a book or whatever it is. I'll tell you, I will bring you guys a lesson tomorrow. Okay, that's a promise from me. That's a techie promise. I will bring you guys a lesson tomorrow. Okay. We're going to cover Bollinger Bands because I think once the market starts to pick back up again, we can start to do some swings. And I want you guys to watch and learn about the Bollinger Band in order for you to be able to utilize it in your trading decisions. So I do apologize for that, guys. I'm not even kidding. Techies chilled out. Demeanor just takes the tension away from my day. No homo, genuinely. Thank you. Thank you, Boulderbomb. And Kefa saying same. I don't know. I don't know what he means by same. Same, same, but different. L'Oreal Julian saying, can you tell more about the news you made think IOTA could go down, please? I don't know. I don't actually know what happened to IOTA after I told you guys. I saw somebody else in another server posting, hey guys, you know, IOTA is gonna pump. When was it actually? What time frame? I'm looking at the hourly right now. When was it? Was it IOTA? No, it wasn't IOTA. It's Ion. It was
Aeon,
Ion. Yeah. I was thinking. I always mix those damn two up.
Aeon got that. Got some nice profits.
20%. Oh, unless you manage. Oh, I just know. Oh my God.
Didn't you notice the wick?
I didn't notice the wick. Damn, Ion's got a big wick.
That's what she said.
Wow. Okay. I didn't realize it was that big. That is interesting. Essentially, this is what happened. There is a group. There is a group called the... which beach? Something beach. Palm Beach. Called Palm Beach. Technically, it is not a pump and dump group. However, it is a group with a significant number of investors, and over the last few months at least, even possibly a little bit longer, Kefa coming out with the sayings, even possibly a little bit longer, every time that they put out a call on a coin, with that many followers, a lot of people love to buy it. This here is a very clear example of what happens. Let's go check it out on the 5th. Oh my God. So essentially they put out, today I believe they released their list of coins, and Ion was on there, and this is what happened. So I hope that you guys managed to sell in some decent profit. If you were holding Ion, I know a couple of people did come in and say that they managed to sell, so I am glad that you managed to get out. But yeah, this was very interesting. Why did I think it would go down? Because when something goes up like this, it will come back down. This is some kind of shit even Stephen Hawking would be like, holy shit, I gotta go and study some more physics. Because it's how it is. So yeah. Grayland saying, lots of investors heard Charlie Lee talk about IOTA and Richard Hart. You can find Charlie Lee's interviews by searching. Oh, okay, I didn't realize Charlie Lee spoke about IOTA. But yeah, let's see. The feeling because of BTC. Yeah, Kefar, I do agree. Powell saying, on the 15-minute, RSI divergence crossing might continue falling from here on slowly. Yeah, we are coming down. We're testing this line. We do have to break through the EMA. I like to look at the EMA more on the 30-minute and then on the 3-minute. On the 15-minute, I don't know. It's not as perfectly clear for me personally. But right now we're on the 15-minute. At least we're coming down. We did have a little wick here to come down and retest this trend line. I believe we will do it again. Generally, we don't just come and hover up here and then take off again. As you can see, clear touch, clear down, like, you know, quite close. Here, clearly touching. So yeah, we should see what happens with it right now. I've got the 3-minute chart open on the side of my monitor, just so that you guys can see here. We had quite a big red, almost equal size to this one here. However, it retraced before it closed, and then we got this green over here. So yeah, much okay. We can monitor and we can see what is going on with all of this. All right, guys, so excuse my cough. Sorry about that. Right, questions. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me on the YouTube chat with a capital letter Q. Otherwise, on the Discord server, you can tag me, and we can, yeah, we can talk about it. All right, you know, we'll talk about it. Just chill, relax, okay. Yeah. Other than that, guys, other than sitting here right now and watching BTC, there isn't really anything. Jeff, did you make any trades today? Jeff?
Nope.
No, oh, sorry. Okay. Okay. Jeff. Yeah. Jeff didn't make any trades. I technically didn't make any trades either. Did any of you guys make any trades, perhaps? I know a lot of people would have bought in, and if you did manage to buy in and you rode this up, then congratulations. There were some alts that managed to move today as well, but since it was uncertain what this movement would be and how it would progress, until it became clear to me, not at this first point but at this second point here, that we are in this channel, so only literally a few hours ago, you know, it was, to me, it was still quite risky, especially when you consider the size of this red here that happened. And a lot of people would have waited for this, saw this big green, bought up here, and then obviously this big dump. So you need to be careful, guys. You need to really be careful and try and realize where Bitcoin is heading in the longer term before you start to buy back in. Otherwise, you could get caught out. Okay. Yeah. So no real trades there. No real trades here. And Grizz is sending me a message saying he's done no trades either. So we've had a no trade day, which is perfectly fine. It's good. Actually, now Jeff is saying he bought some cap.
Yeah, but I'm not trading it. I just bought it.
Okay. Greyland saying I did make one trade, bought some LCC for around 0.20, slow rise to 0.25. Wow, man! Congratulations. Yeah, that's good, man. You got 25%, 25% gain there. That's pretty good. Mr. Music saying I am on ONT. I hope you don't need the medical attention that comes with ONT. But yeah, it's a good coin. I think it's got a lot of attention, which is always good for a coin. To have a lot of attention and therefore for it to move at least a little bit. Sparky Mark saying I bought some Lisk this morning and it's going up nicely with a 5% in the last 20 minutes. Ooh, nice. Boulderbomb saying I made some 100 euros swinging LTC, then the news came from Charlie's tweets. I expected more of a pump, but nothing happened. Shit news and crap attempts from him to pump it. Wow, okay. Yeah, Charlie Lee, I think a lot of people right now just completely disregard whatever he says. You know, just completely. Jerome saying, what about Ada? What about Ada? I'll have a look. I'm not going to TA Ada. I'm not a TA guy. I can observe it though. Cardano. Sì, Cardano. I don't know why I always say it with that accent. Ooh. Ooh la la. Wee plop. Holy mother. Oh man. Wow. That's just, yeah. Wow. Cardano. Yeah. This is it. It looks like it's coming down. You got to imagine this as the Olympics. So the guy comes from the top here on the slope. He's coming down on the slopes, coming down, comes here, flies that way, does a double backflip up in the air, lands back down with his feet here, comes down to here, and it's kind of like a bit of a wavy thing. So yeah, it's quite, yeah. Boulderbomb saying he said he sold his coins to move away from people thinking it would be in his financial interest to help Litecoin. But why he had this epiphany at all-time high, I think he's a crook. I have no opinion. He's just some dude, and he can talk shit if he wants. He can do whatever he wants. Doesn't matter. In my opinion, I don't care for him. Blah blah blah. Wabi looks like a nice bottom. Does it really? Wabi looks like a nice bottom. Wabi, show us your.
Isn't Cardano releasing the first ICO fast?
To be honest, I haven't followed any crypto news in the last few days. I have been so stuck on Bitcoin and a bunch of other stuff that I just really haven't. Is it releasing? We can check on our thing here.
I thought so.
Cardano.
Interesting.
Canada coin? Canada eCoin? What the hell's Canada eCoin? Bloody Canadians. Cardano, first ICO on Cardano. 19th of March, a Monday. Yeah, so, yeah, okay, cool. Cardano has a thing on Monday.
It's 18 cents, really cheap.
Depends on what the coin is, what it does, and everything. It could be cheap or it could be expensive. 18 cents.
I mean,
oh, for Cardano? Sorry.
Yes.
I'm not really with it, guys. I was saying to Jeff earlier that I'm not really with it. Is Cardano cheap? Cardano is definitely cheap. Can it potentially go down if Bitcoin goes down again? Yes. Could you buy it now and hope to see some profits in the longer term? Definitely yes. Could you buy it now and hope to see some profits within a couple of days? Doubtful, because Bitcoin could really dump, and when it will, then then Cardano is just going to be cheaper, essentially. So if you are looking for the longer term and you are prepared to hold it and not look at it for the next few days, then you can purchase it. But if you want to pick it up cheaper, you could potentially wait until we confirm where the bottom is, and then you can jump in. But it is cheap. It's cheap. Cheap as chips. Thank you. Should I stay and hodl? I don't know. Hodl what? For Wabi? It's up to you. It's entirely up to you. I don't give calls like that. Depends. Can you sit there and can you deal with looking at red after red after red after red after red for a few days and then finally seeing some green? Or would your stress levels increase and you potentially have road rage and rip off your boss's head and then just want to punch someone? If that's the case, then no, just release it. Let go of it right now. All right, but if you can hold and you're fine with holding and you don't care if the price goes down in the immediate future, then hold. It all comes down to you and your trading strategy. Each person needs to define and work on their own trading strategy. You choose things that work for you. You learn what your limitations, what your boundaries are, and you trade based off of that. For example, if whenever you see a coin go down after you've bought in, you get all pissed off, then you got to change your trading strategy to avoid having those scenarios whereby the coin goes down after you buy in. So there's, if you feel like you can hold, then hold. That Google News is confusing. A lot of outlets are reporting it different. Yeah, it's the news. It's nothing. I think we covered it on the stream yesterday, didn't we? I'm pretty sure we did. Yeah. 2 Coins 1 Cup saying, Techie, this is all a dream. BTC is at 50k. Wake up. It's 50k. What indicators will show BTC at its bottom? Primarily, we're kind of looking at RSI, not on this time frame. We want to see it at least on the 4 hour. We want to see it at least on the 4 hour. Right now, this is why, again, I believe this here is just a bit of a corrective wave, and then we should come back down again. You can see where 6k was over here, and you can see how far down we were and how it reacted, how the market reacted, just simply on the RSI. And so we should actually expect to see the same thing here. Now, this is 4 hour candles, so obviously we could only see the results after a few hours. But you can kind of see it in the run-up. Now, one thing to note to you guys is that, as you can see, prior to the major drop, we did have this little dip below, come back above, hover just above the line here, and then come back down again. We had these 2 major drops, but they weren't directly related to there. They were related to bottoms at other times. Okay, this was on the 11th of March. Okay, so a few days ago when we reached those two bottoms. This one here where we had the dip today didn't really even go down to that level. Again, not really supporting the fact that this here is the absolute bottom. So yeah, we'll monitor, we will see. There's quite a few different signs. Once we hit a certain level and we have a very strong trend reversal, then that will be it. And it's not just any level, it's not just a random level, it is actually a kind of TA-able direct level. Kostas saying, what do you think about futures or perpetual contracts? Not sure about proper terminology. XBT seems to have high volume. How does it influence BTC price? It's a very interesting question. I believe I asked someone that earlier on today, to what effect do these type of contracts have on the price of Bitcoin? Futures is different, perpetual are different. So how can they actually go forward and affect, bloody yawning again, pardon me. How will they go ahead and affect Bitcoin? I don't know. I mean, if we come here and we go to CoinMarketCap, and we can check out the exchanges. So if we come over here to markets, okay, it's really all the wait. Why has it got stars? Volume excluded. No trading fees. Huh. Okay, so as you guys can see here, this is the volume of this. This is BitMEX, one of the most popular leveraging platforms there are. I'm just going to put that up there so we can reference it. I was going to say it's not going to be much more, but in actual fact, that there is a ridiculous amount of volume in the last 24 hours on BitMEX. I don't know. I haven't really been monitoring this stuff long enough. Maybe someone who's always done who knows BitMEX can actually let me know if this is actually normal or not. But the very fact that it is, what is that even? That's 5-6 times. Is it 6 times? Maths isn't working right now. 5 times at least. 5 times the volume than the biggest exchange. Oh wait, did I sort it? No, I didn't. There we go. So 5 times the volume compared to the next biggest exchange. That is a lot to me. And so as a result, I would say that it does have, to a degree, quite a large impact on the market. If there's this much money going through it, and this here is definitely somewhere where people are throwing around a hell of a lot of money, it could have an effect on the other markets. I'm actually quite shocked at how much more it is. I thought it was maybe going to be 850, 900, not 4 billion. Damn. Yeah, so I believe it will have some effect, but I don't know if it's always been like this. Again, maybe someone else can come and comment and tell me. Yeah, if it has been or if it hasn't been. It's new. What's new? BitMEX isn't new, is it? I thought BitMEX has been around for a while. I'm pretty sure it's been around for a while. Alright guys, I don't see any more questions. And I think we're coming up to the end of the stream time. Someone that we have been trying to invite onto the stream for a while is he's just tweeted something, but it's okay, it's fine. It's a video, we can't exactly watch it right now. So since there's no more questions, guys, and since there's no more comments, then I think it's time for Lord of the Rings. No, I'm kidding. No, we're not going to do Lord of the Rings now. We leave that. We arrange a time for that when I'm feeling a little bit more mentally free, I guess. guys, then we can go through and we can read Lord of the Rings, we can read Harry Potter, we can read 50 candles of Bitcoin, whatever you want, depending on who votes and whatever happens. Then Bitcoin has been draining. Bitcoin has been quite draining actually. So yeah, it's a little bit. I think it is starting to have a bit of an effect on me. My sleep is terrible. Even though I sleep at night, I still have to take a nap during the day. So yeah, when all of this is over, you can read Lord of the Rings from your Lambo. I will not have a Lambo. I do apologize. I am not the Lambo type. You will not catch me. My mother used to say this to me. She used to say it about a certain car manufacturer called Skoda. Skoda is quite big here in Europe. Definitely big here in Europe. And she used to say, I will not be seen dead in a Skoda. And if I die, don't put my coffin in a Skoda. And we were like, okay, Mum. So secretly, all of us, we've been planning to, which car was it, again, that you did want? Rimac. Rimac. I've been napping during the day for the last 10 years. Yeah, my sleep has been terrible. I need to kind of really sort it out. Spucky Mark saying, I was watching Phil Cone yesterday. I swear he was imitating Techie on his intro. Was he? I don't know. So he's imitating me, but he will refuses to reply to my tweets. Phil Cone. Let's see. Yeah, I've always had that intro. Ever since I was on the radio, I always used to have that crazy, silly intro. Sometimes you go with a crazy joke, sometimes not. But yeah, that's about it really. 2 coins 1 cup saying, I like to make enough through Bitcoin to buy a bus pass. Yeah, of course. If you can buy your own bus pass once you own the bus company. There's nothing wrong with that. Boulderbomb saying, did you see Phil showed his 2FA and logins for BitMEX on stream? Someone emptied his wallet. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame. It's a bit of a shame, really. Again, do you know what? Phil is an amazing teacher. He's really great. I can see that he could potentially use some help on the tech side. I would actually be willing just to help him for absolute free, without anything in return. But yeah, he doesn't respond to tweets and stuff like that. So if any of you guys are in communication with him, or perhaps you guys want to go and spam him or whatever it is, then yeah, you can go and spam him and say, hey, you didn't answer the crypto challenge tweet or whatever it is. Yeah, and we can see that. Don't you get a free one yet, John? Free one? Free what? Free what? Oh, a free bus pass. Yeah. All right, guys. That's it for the stream. Thank you all for joining. Thank you all for being here, and we will catch you all tomorrow. Another day, and we can watch Bitcoin and see where Bitcoin is heading right now. As you guys can see, look at this. This is just so exciting. I almost don't want to end the stream here. Oh, it's so tasty. Oh. Yeah, as Boulderbomb says, watch the price move when the stream ends. It always happens. Yeah. Okay, guys. I'm going to log off. We will catch you all tomorrow, and take care. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Join the Discord server if you haven't already joined the Discord server. Link is in the video description. Check out the website if you're new here. You don't know what the hell the crypto challenge is all about. If you're here to troll, piss off. And if you're here to learn and expand your knowledge and grow into a better trader, I welcome you with open arms. Okay, that sounds a little bit strange. You guys get the idea anyway. So thank you for watching, and yeah, I will catch you guys all tomorrow. So goodbye from me and from Jeff.
You guys, later.
Okay, guys. And Grizz can't talk, so I'll say ciao, guys, or whatever he says usually. But yeah, take care.